Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about all of the keys to victory for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Week 1 matchup versus the Dallas Cowboys. If you guys are new here, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button if you do enjoy these types of videos, and leave your thoughts about what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can do to give themselves a better chance of winning in Week 1 down in the comment section below. But we have a lot of things to talk about in this video today, and the first point that I want to make, right? The first thing that I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can do to give themselves a better chance to defeat the Dallas Cowboys in Week 1 is attack a rusty Dak Prescott. Obviously, it's no secret, Dak Prescott, he has been dealing with a decent amount of injuries. He's had some ankle issues that wiped him out for pretty much the entirety of last season. Now he's dealing with shoulder injuries, and, I think that it is, a thing to say that, yeah, Dak Prescott, he is going to be rusty going into this upcoming game. Now, of course, he's still an NFL caliber quarterback. It's not like he's just going to go out there and be absolutely abysmal or anything along those lines. He hasn't forgot how to throw a football or anything like that, but it has been some good amount of time before he has seen some consistent live NFL action. I'm not sure how much he played in the preseason, but even then he was getting probably limited reps at best, if any. So this being Dak Prescott's first full, live game action, live rounds being fired type of game is going to be something that I feel the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should take advantage of. Right now as it stands, the Dallas Cowboys do have a couple of players out along their offensive line, specifically Zach Martin being one of the biggest guys being out on that offensive line, and the Bucs have a lot of good pass rushers. We talked about it time and time again. Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, Vita Vea, Ndamukong Suh, Joe Tryon now being added to the mix. There are some formations where you can get all five of those guys onto the field at the same time. Evan of the Cannon Fire podcast talked about it in yesterday's video, where he said you can have Jason Pierre-Paul in on the inside, you have Joe Tryon and Shaq Barrett as the edge defenders, and then you have Ndamukong Suh and Vita Vea inside along that D-line as well. I could see the Buccaneers doing that consistently just to get as much pressure as possible on Dak Prescott. Again, he hasn't forgotten how to throw a football or anything like that, but ruffling his feathers, really sending the attack on him is something that I think that could force, Dak Prescott to make some mistakes there. It's been a while since he's played, especially in a regular season game at that, against a good pass rush in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so I expect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to exploit that, to really send the pressure, I think, relatively consistently, especially with a banged-up Cowboys offensive line. The second thing that I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can do to give themselves a better chance of winning in Week 1 versus the Dallas Cowboys is use the playmakers that they have with their wide receivers on offense. We've talked about the Buccaneers wide receiver trio a ton on this channel. Mike Evans, future Hall of Famer. Chris Godwin would be a number one on many teams around the league today. And Antonio Brown is another future Hall of Famer. And I'm not even including the other pass catchers and the other dynamic players that the Buccaneers have on offense, right? I'm not including those guys right now. I'm focusing specifically on those three wide receivers because I think that they could have, all three of them, a huge game versus the Cowboys. Their secondary is a little shaky, to be nice, in certain areas, and when you've got that much talent on offense in one position group at that wide receiver trio, take advantage of that. Tom Brady's going to want to, so I want to see some creative play calling from Byron Leftwich, maybe some screens with Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown to get them into open space and really get them working down the field. Give Mike Evans a long ball, throw it to him in the red zone, just let him use his big upper body and, have him be able to do Mike Evans things and have Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin be able to do their own things as well. That's what I want to see because I think that that will be really the life essence of this Buccaneers offense for the entirety of the season, in my opinion. I mean, use those, trio of great weapons of wide receivers that you have at your disposal week in and week out. I'm not going to mention it every week, but that is going to be something that will help every single week, specifically against a secondary like the Cowboys, which is a little bit shakier, like I said. Use them even more so, I believe. Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and I am pleased to say that this video is sponsored by our friends over at Manscaped. That's right, we have actually got sponsors for this channel now, one of them being Manscaped. You guys, I'm sure, have all heard of Manscaped, right? They are one of the best, if not the best, men's grooming product companies in the entire world. They have loads of different types of men's grooming products on their website, including the Lawnmower 4.0. Definitely go check that out. And they've given me a very special offer to give to all of you guys. If you use the promo code MrBucsNation at manscaped.com, you will get 20% off on their website. That's right, 20% off on the website when you use the promo code MrBucsNation. So get on the website, use the promo code MrBucsNation, get your 20% off, and ensure that you are going to be using the right tools for the job with Manscaped. The third thing that I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should do to give themselves a better chance of winning in Week 1 versus the Dallas Cowboys is protect Tom Brady. This one almost seems like a duh, James, of course type of point, but you know, the Buccaneers offensive line, they've returned all the starters. They had, in my opinion, a great season last year, especially guys like Tristan Wirfs, like Ali Marpet, like Ryan Jensen. And then you even saw big leaps and improvements from guys like Donovan Smith and Alex Kappa. And then even Aaron Stinney came in when he needed to, and I think performed very well. Protecting Tom Brady, it's how he works his magic, right? It's how he becomes the just absolute perfect conductor of an offensive machine, and you've got to give him time. Really, it's with any quarterback, but Tom, even if he's got maybe a second or two more, he's able to find a guy, get the ball out with a great throw, just with a little bit more protection. So I think that's going to be huge. If you keep Brady's jersey clean, you give him a clean pocket against guys like DeMarcus Lawrence. I believe Robert Quinn is still along that defense as well. And some of the other defenders that the Cowboys have along that defensive line, Tom Brady could very well just pick apart this Dallas Cowboys defense. Again, especially with some of those weapons that they have with the wide receivers, the tight ends, and even now with a guy like Giovani Bernard as well. So, you know, hey, protect Tom Brady and good things will happen. I know it seems like an obvious thing, but I still wanted to make a note of it. The second to last thing that I feel the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could do to give themselves a better chance of winning in Week 1 versus the Dallas Cowboys is play clean special teams. This one is something maybe a lot of people might not think about, but I feel it is absolutely crucial for the Buccaneers to play as a balanced and complete team. We've seen it the past couple of years, right? The Buccaneers special teams unit has fallen off a little bit in regards to returning and especially on, say, kickoff coverages. Punt coverages have been all right, not exactly anything stellar. Certainly not, a few years ago where their punt coverage teams were doing phenomenal. I think there has been a big drop-off in recent years with the Buccaneers special teams play. So I want to see that improve. I want to see that be better. Otherwise, you're going to have to start asking some serious questions with what's going on with the special teams coaching staff and how they game plan these certain types of things. I think that's a legitimate thing to point out because we've given it a couple of years now and we haven't seen exactly stellar play from the Buccaneers special teams unit. And again, I know people are going to say, oh, James, what's the big deal? It's special teams. No, to me, special teams matters. Special teams is a big deal, and it's certainly something that you shouldn't ignore. It's a third of the game. To just break it down in technical terms, it is a big deal, right? A kickoff return for a touchdown, a long punt return, a, forced fumble on a special teams kickoff, a forced fumble on a punt return. These are, a punt being down in the one. These are the types of things that swing momentum and really can make or break a team on a comeback or shut down a team on a comeback. It does matter in my opinion. So I want to see the Buccaneers show improvement with special teams. We didn't see it too much in the preseason in my opinion, and I want that to change starting here in week number 1. Will we see it? Will we not see it? We're just going to have to wait and see what the results are here going into this game, or coming away from this game rather. fingers crossed things are improved there. But finally, guys, the last thing I want to say that I feel the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can do to give themselves a better chance of winning in week number 1 is going to be stopping Ezekiel Elliott. And I know there are going to be some people who are down on Ezekiel Elliott and maybe even calling for more snaps for a guy like Tony Pollard if you're kind of looking, at the situation last year with the Dallas Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, I don't believe he had gotten to 1,000 yards. He was still getting a ton of touches and a ton of carries, but the production just wasn't there. In my opinion, a down year is just a down year. It is what it is. I would still call Ezekiel Elliott not just one of the top running backs in the NFL right now, but I still think he is the main gear that runs this Cowboys offensive machine. And he's going up against a very tough matchup in the Buccaneers run defense, where the past couple of years, I've said it in previous videos, they have been one of the best, I would say top 3, if not number 1, in terms of run defense in the entire NFL. So it is going to be a tough initial matchup here for the Cowboys running back. And if the Buccaneers are able to slow him down and kind of shut him down, I guess, in terms of more continuity with the great run defense they've had the past couple of years, the Cowboys' offensive game plan, the Cowboys' offensive formula could struggle, mightily, depending on whether or not they can or cannot get Ezekiel Elliott going. I think that it will matter that much. I do think that Elliott is still that much of a factor and a motion in terms of the Cowboys offensive machine. So honestly, I think that'd be the biggest priority in terms of stopping players on offense is still going to be Ezekiel Elliott, because the dude can still change the game with his running ability and a little bit with his receiving ability as well. And if he gets going, the Cowboys offense, I think they can get comfortable. I think they can do a lot of different things if they are running the ball well. You can say that for any team, but I think it really does especially matter with a back like Ezekiel Elliott, who you've got to respect in terms of play action and all those other different types of things. So if the Buccaneers can stop Ezekiel Elliott, I think that shuts down a decent amount of things as to what the Cowboys could do on offense to try and trick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers later on in the game. So that's it, guys. That's everything I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should do to give themselves a better chance of winning in week 1 versus the Dallas Cowboys. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What are the ways you feel the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could have a better chance of winning in week 1 versus the Dallas Cowboys? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.